Once upon a time, this the memory. It's like synergy. Life the hardest teacher y'all could ever get the master. Get a test first, and y'all get that lesson after. Steve's never stressing them G's. What's going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome y'all back to Sync Music Mondays. That's right, Sync Music Mondays, music licensing in the coolest form, because we are the coolest. Snow Cap. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know what it is. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in every week faithfully, man. We definitely doing our thing, man. We appreciate y'all. We tackle different topics every week, man. But before we get into today's topic, let's talk about the word of the day. And today's word of the day goes like this. I love it, live it, preach it, I teach it. Everybody wants to be their own boss, but nobody wants to be their own employee. I like that word of the day. Everybody wants to be their own boss, but nobody wants to be their own employee. I think that word of the day is pretty basic. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to be a success. Everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to monetize, whether that be they got a business, they got a side hustle, they're a musician, they're a podcaster. But a lot of times people don't want to put in the work. Sometimes people feel that they're above certain things. And when you're an entrepreneur, when you got that hustler spirit, there's no such thing. Like, you got to get up, get to it every single day, right? There's no days off. So, whether you do your hustle, your entrepreneurship full time, whether you do it part time, right? Because there's no shame in having a 9 to 5, right? Work your 9 to 5, then work your business after that, right? Your job is your first business partner, as my man Storm Leroy says, right? So don't ever feel ashamed if you do have a job or if you don't, right? But regardless of what it is, make sure you're willing to put in the necessary work to get it done. And that is the word of the day, all right? But for today, before we get started, I got to shout out my peoples, Borough, Thorough. Y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know I'm originally from Queens, right? But shout out to Queens, Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, Staten Island. Shout out to the whole New York. Y'all know what it is, right? So y'all can see I'm rocking the gear today. Shout out to my peoples. They blessed me with the jacket, man. You know what I'm saying? Got the vibes. Got the teddy bear with the Rolex and the Timbs. That's my vibes right there. Right, so big shout out to Borough Thorough, man. Definitely tap in, man. If y'all want some fly bombers, fitteds, whatever it is, man, definitely tap in with them. Shout out to them, man. And for today, we're gonna talk about a topic that came up on my radar. I was actually surprised by it. I didn't even know that this was a thing. But Jon B had recently came out. And he had spoke about the fact that he doesn't make any money off of his music outside of, I guess, live performances. So this was a topic that came across our desk, and they wanted us to talk about it. Basically, Mel from the BX, shout out to Mel, said recently Jon B came forward, stated he's not being compensated for his music outside of shows. What do you guys think about that? Well, shout out to you, Mel. Shout out to the BX. You know what I'm saying? All day, every day. What are my thoughts on that? Well, I'll say this. For starters, I think that there's a lot of lessons within that. We talk about financial literacy for musicians, but what does that look like? That starts with the paperwork, right? This is the music business. So it's not just the music, it's the business. And the business, unfortunately, comes before the music. So you could be the most talented musician in the world. That doesn't mean that you can't get got, right? We've heard stories like this all the time, where whether it be TLC selling millions of records and getting jerked and screwed, not getting the monetary compensation that they deserve, or where we look at a Tribe Called Quest making classic records and they weren't getting the money they deserve. What Q-Tip say? Industry rule number 1080, record company people are shady, right? Like, these are all facts on facts. Like, I think for starters, I would encourage every artist, no matter who you are, to make sure that you have proper legal representation. And I'll repeat that, proper legal representation, not your auntie, not your mama, not your baby daddy, not your baby mama, that claim that, they went to law school for maybe like a year, then they dropped out and they know law. Nah, nope. You need someone who is actually a legitimate attorney that practices entertainment law, right? Because that's another thing I've heard artists say, "Oh yeah, my cousin's a lawyer," and then meanwhile they practice car accident law, right? Like you got to get the right tool for the right job. It's very important when you get these contracts. You got to have an entertainment attorney read them over, and sometimes you might even want to employ another attorney just to kind of fact check that attorney to make sure what you're signing is in your favor, because everything is business, everything's negotiable. And in business, you got a lot of people that want to take advantage of artists. So don't get got. Don't get got. Don't be a statistic. Make sure that you got somebody that can look over that paperwork and make sure it's official, right? That's very important. What I will say with Jon B, man, I mean, I tell people all the time, I feel like, when Robin Thicke came on the scene, Robin Thicke was fire. But before Robin Thicke, there was Jon B. You know what I'm saying? And he was the one where it's like, what black people say, you could get invited to the cookout. He was that one. You know what I'm saying? Because he made those bops that minorities love, man. We vibe with his music. Black people love his music, man. And I mean, he had all those bangers. He had some joints with Babyface. Then he came out with the Cool Relax. Had Pac on there. Just so many bangers, So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. It happens more often than not. So I think ultimately it's like I said, man, this is all pertaining to the music industry and what happens to artists. A lot of times I heard Michael B. Jordan make a statement one time. He said early on in his career, his fame did not match his bank account, for lack of better words. Don't quote me verbatim, but that's essentially what he was saying. He was like, sometimes when you're getting started, your fame and your trajectory is up there, but it climbs quicker than your actual income that you're making from the business for whatever reason, right? So, like I said before, I implore all musicians to handle your business, right? And it's unfortunate with Jon B, but at least I'm glad that he's able to monetize from live performances. But yeah, it sucks, man, when you look at what these labels do to artists, 360 deals, whatever it is. It's a lot of nonsense. But that's pretty much my take on that situation. Comment below, let me know y'all thoughts on it. Do y'all rock with Jon B? I love Jon B's music, man. He's fire. If you're a musician, talk about some of the situations that you might have had with the music business. Were they favorable? Were they shady? We want to hear about it. Let us know. Put them on blast in the comments so we know who not to rock with. You know what I'm saying? So, until next time, until next week,